Welcome back to Cozy Nerd Crafts. Today we are going to look at how to use print and cut within Cricut to cut out your pockets from the Butterflies and Books folio kit. This is available in my store, my Etsy store, which is Cozy Nerd Crafts. And it is one of several different folio styles that I have available. This one is available to you also on Cricut Design Space. There'll be a link in your PDF when you purchase the kit to get to this design right here in front of you. This also will have everything that you need to print, cut, and score, because I like to be able to score using my Cricut. I find it to be much quicker, and I can do other things while the machine is doing the work. So there's the score lines. You're not going to do anything to touch those. Just keep them in there. If you don't want them, you can just delete the group that is there. That is the score lines. And otherwise, I recommend keeping them in just because it's easier to fold your paper after it's actually been scored like this. So the first thing we have to do is that we need to add in the paper with all of the design on it. So you go to upload image and you click upload image. You can see I already have this in here, but I'll walk you through it. So I look on my computer and I go to find, I know where the folder is for this, and I'm going to grab the paper for the pockets page. There you go. So when they bring it in, Cricut offers you some different options, including this one to remove background. You don't need to do that for this project. And then we just bring it in as a flat graphic. So the thing that you can do here is slicing. And what it's going to do is going to remove anything that is the same on both projects. First, we have to resize it down to 8.5 by 11. So since that's locked, I just put in the 11 on the width and it snapped to 8.5. And now those two are lined up. You're going to select both of them. You can either shift click to select or then use the top menu to select all. Go down and slice it. You get 3 different results. Those slice artifacts are ones you won't need. They don't have the design on them. And so we're just going to delete them. Now, all you have left is your pockets ready to cut out, print and cut. And so the next step for us is to go through to the make scenario. One of the limitations of print and cut within Cricut is that you are unable to print and cut an 8.5 by 11 design on an 8.5 by 11 sheet. You got to get those margins in there. So I make mine on an 11 by 17. That way I get the size that I want, that I've designed it to. And then you go ahead and pick that in your material size. You can see in material size when you put this in Cricut Design Space that there is no 8.5 by 11 availability because the design is too big. So next we will continue and go to print. I do a couple of things when I'm printing because I want to have a good print. And so you'll see that the first thing I do is I leave it on as add bleed, which adds a little bit of extra ink around the edges. And so when it cuts, it's cutting out color and part of the design, but it's not part of the design that you need. And then I use my system dialog because I want to change some of my printer's settings when I'm going to print. So when you go to print, you find your printer and you go into preferences. You can see I have it set already for 11 by 17 matte paper. But while I'm here, what I also want to do is check on the color settings. So you go into more options and then color correction and custom advanced, and then you get to pick what you want. For this design, I've had success with Adobe RGB. And then I bump up the brightness and saturation by 2 little clicks there. And then from here, you move on to printing. You just hit OK and it's ready to go. Now, I am not going to print this one because I've already print and cut it. And so I'm just going to go ahead and hit the cancel button. Just show one more thing when you're picking your materials here. When you go to print materials on anything for Cricut, you have to pick your base material. I often use heavy cardstock. You can use light cardstock or medium cardstock, it's fine. And the design will cut out the same. You just generally have to use a different scoring wheel. And because I always have mine set up for scoring on heavy cardstock, I have the right one in there, which is the double scoring wheel. And then that's how you do it. That's your whole design, print and cut. And once you've print and cut it, it will be ready to make. So thank you for coming to visit today. Click like and subscribe for more videos.